girl, Bella.
Hi, babes. It's me, Shannon B for Brown Girl Bella. I bring you lips, lashes, and luxury. My brand is all about high-end luxury, but I also do mid-tier reviews as well as for my bargain bellas, drugstore brands as well. I do makeup and skincare and show you what things you should spend your money on and which things you should simply toss away. There's something here for everyone, and there's something here for you. Come join me, be a Bella, and let's get Bellafied. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Babes. This is the Babe of the Month. As you all know, I did a Babe of the Month last month for the month of January. And here it is Black History Month, and I have another Babe for you all. So I'm going to introduce him, and then I'm going to play a short clip that he did. He doesn't even know that I have this clip. So this is going to be very interesting. And then I will bring up the man of the hour. But first, let's talk about who he is and why he is this month's Babe of the Month. You might need some wine for this. I saw a lady just pop up. TT101 said, "Do I need wine for this?" You can have wine for this if you like. Mel Roberson is a 7-time Amazon best-selling author. On 6 projects, he was a contributing author, but his first solo project, which was 31 Amazing Life Lessons of Joshua Stokes, hit the Amazon bestseller rankings in several different categories. Mel is a Chicago native and delivers professional development seminars for corporations and organizations across North America. Born and raised on the south side of Chicago, he is the perfect combination of street smarts and book smarts. He holds a bachelor's degree in political science, dual MBAs in management as well as human resources, and is a almost 26-year a distinguished member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Spring 96 to be exact. Let's go. He has spoken in front of several crowds as large as 15,000 people. He currently serves as a network vice president for a company called LegalShield. And in the evening is an accomplished actor, an award-winning poet, and spoken word artist. He's been on shows such as Chicago P.D. on NBC, Empire on Fox, and The Chi on Showtime. He believes that his most important job on earth is as a father to his beautiful daughters. Now, I am going to bring him up, as I said, in a moment. But first, I want to share with you some of what Mel says in his own words. So, with that, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share his story on YouTube.
It seems almost everyone has a story about Gallery 37 or After School Matters. I know I do. My name is Mel Roberson, and I am part of the inaugural first class in 1991. Growing up on the South Side, I didn't venture outside of my neighborhood too often, so coming downtown and meeting the mayor and teens from all over the city really opened up a whole new world for me. Gallery 37 gave me an opportunity to make some lifelong friends while expressing myself artistically. Today, I am an accomplished actor, author, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur. After School Matters helped me realize my talent could be something that other people actually appreciated and they were willing to pay for. My mentors and instructors, they really saw value in me and the things that I was doing. So that's my story. Let's hear yours.
All right. And without further delay, I'm going to bring up the man of the hour. Here he is. Hey, Mel.
What's up, Sans? I'm like, what is she doing? What video is she talking about that she's about to show? I didn't even know you were doing that. That's hilarious.
See, that's what happens when you do your homework. You start digging and you find some gems.
Yeah. That was a Chicago pro. I thought you were about to show a clip from Chicago PD or something. I didn't know what you were doing. I'm,
Ah,
I'm, I'm trying to get on my phone too. I'm not being rude. I'm trying to get on my phone so that I can comment in the chat as well. And
awesome.
respond in the chat. So um I thought I was in. All right, but we can go ahead and kick it. What's up?
What's going on, sir? So, first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to be my babe of the month for the month of February. Yes, it is a short month. However, I wanted to have you on so you can talk to everyone about your journey, your education, your journey into Kappa land, and some of what you're doing as well. And then I always end the program with asking what's in your bathroom, meaning what kind of toiletries you use to like cleanse your face, to moisturize, like what's your skincare routine? So I usually do this with ladies, but I found that men are the most funny when it comes to things that they put on their face. So I am all ears. I want to hear all about it. But first, tell us, who is Mel? If you can sum it up in a sentence, what would you say is
Uh,
like the quintessential of who you are?
I am a good example of what's possible with faith, vision, and hard work. That's what I am.
Okay.
And ultimately, like you said in my bio, my ultimate job that I've had is raising my two beautiful daughters, one of which who just got engaged a few days ago. So I'm gonna try not to talk about that because I will cry
Oh,
on this show. And then my youngest baby, who's running track at a Division I college right now, they are everything to me. They are my reason for living. I'm a girl dad, and I lost a son some years ago during a pregnancy, so I would have had a little boy as well, but that didn't come into fruition. So I'm a straight up girl dad, and I love every minute of it.
mhm. Wonderful. I see one of our Sans is in the building laughing. TT 101 says, "Hey, Mel Rob."
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I think she says she knows you as well.
Hmm.
Dion says, Mel, I'm in the rafters laughing. Hashtag movie.
Yeah. I'm not gonna start calling people out because if you all don't know, we're part of the Spring '96 contingency, the year we pledged our fraternities and sororities, and we have some hecklers that are here. heckling as they normally do, except now they're just heckling in public. So let's get on with the show, man. We ain't paying attention to them
Yes,
crazy folks.
absolutely. So next question was about your journey. So you said you came from the south side of Chicago. I'm guessing a lot of people from that era, like where I grew up, didn't really have college on the uppermost of their minds when they were navigating themselves through life. So how did you end up from the south side of Chicago going to college and then getting dual MBAs?
So college for me was not my first choice, honestly. My senior year in high school, I was shot in an attempted carjacking.
Oof.
And so I stopped jacking cars after that. When they started shooting back in Chicago, it was like, man, I'm just kidding. I was the Jackie. I wasn't the jacker, right? But I did get shot in an attempted carjacking, and I wanted to go to the Navy. I have an uncle, a great uncle, who was one of the last living Tuskegee Airmen. And though he was Air Force, I wanted to go to the Navy to be a naval fighter pilot. And when I graduated from high school, I was a year ahead of myself. I graduated at 17. My mom would not sign the paperwork for me to enlist in the Navy. So I ended up having to pick a college, going to a small school just to get away from Chicago, the violence and the craziness of it. I literally picked my college major based on the amount of math and science classes I did not have to take. You know, I got a political science major in undergrad, so it wasn't a whole lot of math and science and political science. And yeah, that's just kind of how I got to school. It wasn't something I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college. Well, let me not say that. I did want to go to school initially.
Okay.
And I thought about, playing collegiate sports. I ran track in high school. That was my primary sport. Did a couple of years of football as well. But I thought I was, going to be a track athlete or, maybe play football somewhere. I don't know, so from that standpoint, but once I got shot, my world just kind of changed. And the ideology of that teenage immortality that we have when young people think they're invincible, that left me right away, knowing that, here I am, 17 years old, almost losing my life in that particular situation. So that's when I shifted from not wanting to go to college and wanting to go to the military instead. But when my mom wouldn't let me go to the military, then I shifted that focus back to college. The defensive back coach at my high school was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, had a few other members that I knew. When I got to school, I did DJ. When I got to school, I DJ'd at a nightclub that I was too young to get into. So as the DJ, one of the noobs owned the nightclub, and then the other resident DJ was a noob. So I was around these guys all the time, and it was a natural fit for me to be a Kappa. I don't think I would have chose anything else, even if there were other things available to me, but that fit my personality. I love what they were doing as far as community service. I had influences growing up, and I thought I could bring a lot to the fraternity. So it wasn't really about what the fraternity could do for me, but how I could contribute to the fraternity as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this year you turned 26 years in the fraternity.
Yes.
So how will you celebrate 26?
I don't know. I wasn't financial for a while. I can admit that, but when the 25th year came up, I got back financial so I could get my 25 year. So I'm a little shallow in that department. I'm also a Mason as well, so I do a lot of community service, in Masonry, and so I wasn't as active with the frat. But I have been back active this past year. How I'm gonna celebrate the 26th year, I have no idea what we're gonna do. I don't see my line brothers that much. There's 3 of us. Well, the guys that I went through membership intake with, because Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is a non-hazing organization. We do not support or condone hazing in any form, shape, or fashion. So the guys that I went through my membership intake process with.
Yes.
Right. We don't get together that much, but we didn't get together for our 25th because it was COVID. So I don't know, but at May 10th at 3:13 a.m. Well, I guess anyway, yeah, I don't know what we're doing. I'm giving it away, huh?
You are totally giving it away.
Right.
But okay, so May 10th. So that means I'm 5 days older than you.
Yeah. Yeah. By the time we finished our membership intake process,
Uh-huh.
finals were over with. We're on a semester system. We weren't on a quarter system. The last day of finals, I think, was like May 5th or 6th.
Yes.
It may have been the 7th, but we didn't cross till the 10th. So the dorms were clear, everybody was gone, and they were like, yep. So we like, what do we do now? There's nobody here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, so we got, your journey into college life and then your start as a Kappa man. But you mentioned something about masonry. When did you get into the Masons?
I became a Mason. I was raised on October 10th, 2010. So 10-10-10 was my date, which was kind of cool.
Okay.
So yeah. And again, I always had those influences around me and I sought it out. And that was pretty cool too. Somebody said, get to the bag. I'm looking in these comments.
So that is my Nightbot, and it will drop links for people who are in here. And so that link they're dropping right now is 2 Points Blank Travel.
Got it.
About how to get points on your credit cards so that you can travel. He also has a channel called Points Blank Finance that talks about financial, how to get a credit card, keep a credit card, how to get credit limit increases, what's new in credit cards and different things that are available to you as a consumer. So love that is dropping. Also, there are going to be mods in here also dropping information like Miss Jada LaRue telling you to like, share, and subscribe and join the Bella Brigade. And my Cash App, which is Brown Girl Bella 2. For those who wish to donate, you can donate via the link below, which will give you either a membership or you can donate to my channel. How the heck did that happen?
Well, Claudia, we in the middle of an interview.
How did that happen? Because usually my phone doesn't even ring. And that rang.
You know us Ace Clubs, we think we can call anybody anytime. So
you know what? I'm not even gonna mess with y'all Ace Clubs right now. I'm not even going to, because y'all are a mess. But let's go back to this journey you had. So how did you transfer all of these wonderful skills that you have in college to being an actor? And being on not only the big screen, but the small screen as well.
So it's interesting how life plays out, right? I really had no interest in being an actor. The only thing that I had ever really acted in was I played Nat Turner in 5th grade in the Black History Month play at my school, which is crazy because they allowed me to make a machete out of cardboard and wrap it in aluminum foil and kill the slave masters. And I went to Catholic school. So they were like, have at it, young man, have at it. So I played Nat Turner. I did play Romeo in an urban contemporary version of Romeo and Juliet a little bit later, but that was all like before college, right? I didn't think I wanted to be an actor. And my younger brother, his best friend's sister called me one day and said, hey, I'm shooting a film. I want you to be in it. And I'm like, I don't act. Now, by this point, I had a very brief stint in pharmaceutical sales. That was my first job out of college. I got fired from that job, so it didn't last long. I didn't like my district manager. He didn't like me. It just didn't make for a good situation. And from there, I started on my entrepreneurial journey. So I didn't work long in corporate America before I became an entrepreneur. And I guess as an entrepreneur, I started acquiring all of these skills. I was doing trainings for some organizations. And so I didn't mind speaking in front of small crowds. And when she asked me to do the film, I'm like, well, I'm not an actor. And she was like, well, I just think you got a good personality And I was used to memorizing presentations, so memorizing a script wasn't a big deal. And I did this film. It was a film called Love Shorts, and this was back in the early 2000s. I don't even remember when it was. It's so long ago. And they went to the African American Film Festival or the Hollywood Black Film Festival, a couple of different festivals, and they won all of these different awards. And they're like, "Oh my God, our film is winning these awards, and you're in the film and all that." And I was just like, "Okay, whatever that means." Like, I wasn't even hip to that world. About a year later, a friend of mine called me and said they're looking for poets to be a part of this play. Now, spoken word poetry was something that I did do. So I'm like, all right, I can go be a poet in a play. I go to audition and do poetry. And one of the young ladies that was in the film was helping the director cast for the play, like a young lady that was in the film with me that I just talked about. And they were like, well, she told the director, she was like, he can act. You need to give him a role. So the director comes and shoves a script in my face and is like, here you go. And I was like, what is this? I came to do poetry. They were like, well, we want you to read for a part. I want to read for a part. I want to just do my poem and have it be over with.
Welcome, Rose.
So I ended up getting the supporting lead in that play. And then I moved to the lead in the play. And then I did my first feature film, my first full-length feature film with a guy named Mark Harris, who's done a whole bunch of other stuff since then. I've done several films with Mark Harris. And then I kind of got the bug after that. After a few independent films, I got an agent. Actually, after a few independent films, I got booked for a film called The Saints of Mount Christopher with Tom Sizemore and Clifton Powell. And that gave me my SAG eligibility to get the union.
Okay.
And then from there, I did Chicago P.D. I've been on there a few times. I've been on The Chi. I've been on Empire, movies on Netflix, Amazon. I do a lot of theater still here in Chicago. I'm doing some sketch comedy stuff here. I really like the stage more than I love film. But if I had to point to something, I think being an entrepreneur, especially in the fields that I've been an entrepreneur, because a lot of my stuff has been with training and development. I had a consulting company. I did a stint in the network marketing industry. I've been in the insurance industry. And so with all of those things where I had to develop people skills and learn how to give presentations, it prepared me for the acting world in a way that I didn't even know I was being prepared for. And so by the time I hit the stage, I was so used to being on the stage giving a presentation. It was the same thing with just a few more facial expressions.
Right.
And then I started doing so much theater. By the time I started doing film, they were like, all right, this guy, he knows his stuff. Because theater actors are generally better trained than television and film actors. And it just went from there. But I'm thankful for my entrepreneurial journey because that gave me the time freedom to do all of the things that I wanted to do. If I didn't have that, especially once me and my children's mom split, my kids are 10 years apart, right? So when me and their mom split, they were 15 and 5, and I ended up moving on the other side of the city. And both of my girls were extremely active. My oldest was a varsity cheerleader all 4 years. So we're talking cheerleading competitions, football games, basketball games. Then my youngest runs track, and she played basketball in elementary school. So I was constantly at their school. And even though me and their mom split, we're still really, really good friends. So I'm at the house 2-3 days a week doing homework with them, having them on weekends. And if I did not take on that entrepreneurial journey, I wouldn't have had the time freedom to be a part of my girls' lives the way that I have been. So.
All right. Welcome everyone for being here. Thank you, Wonston. Rose, thank you so much for that $1.99 super chat. I appreciate it. And I thank you very much. She says she's from Brazil and she lives in Michigan.
Wow, Michigan, one of my favorite places. I'm a huge Michigan State Spartan fan.
Awesome. All right. So you kind of told us which you prefer better, but out of your roles that you have done, both on the small screen on stage, as well as any movies you've done, what has been your favorite part to play and why?
My favorite role, even to this day, has been a character in a film called I Used to Love Her, which is on Amazon Prime Video right now. I play a character named Ramadan El Amin, who's a poet. So Mark wrote this film with me in mind, right? This young guy who's a poet falls in love with this girl. There's this whole story around it. I won't give it away in case you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of different reasons that I love the film. So the character's original name was Jamal and or Jamar, and it was a Muslim character. And around that time, one of my fraternity brothers from Beta chapter, two of them actually, Ramadan and Mike, died in a fatal car crash.
Oh wow.
And so I was shooken up by it. Like it really rocked me. He's younger than us, but really, really good dude. And so I asked the writer / director, I said, hey man, it would mean a lot to me because I'm gonna dedicate my performance to them. But if I could change my character's name to Ramadan, he was like, Ramadan. I said, yeah, Ramadan El Amin. He was like, I love it. He's like, that sounds so much better than Jamar, right? And so changed the character's name and rocked that film out. And it's an old film. I mean, that film is probably 10 to 14 years old, somewhere in there. And even though it's that old, it's still my favorite film. It's still my favorite. It's still my favorite film. And I don't like watching myself. That's the other thing. Like I can't. That's the only.
To that, Jada said, "Get him off the show if you're a Spartan fan. Go blue,
go green. Don't start with me, Jada. Don't start with me, Jada."
All right, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So even though that film is so old, it was one of those, I'll say, cult classic, for lack of a better term. We didn't have distribution for that film initially, but we sold over 20,000 copies out of our trunks. You know, wow. So we sold a lot of DVDs. We sold a lot. It was so much so that the bootleg man, I'm in the barber chair. The bootleg man came in with a DVD and was like, man, I got them new DVDs. I got the new, you need to check out this. He literally tried to sell me the DVD of the movie I'm in. And I'm like, bro, that's my film. He was like, what do you mean? You want one? I was like, that's me on the cover, dog. Like, he was like, oh, snap. He was like, would you sign one for me? No, you bootlegging my DVD. What do you mean when I sign one for you? It's crazy.
Oh my goodness. So Nikki's in the chat. Hi, Nikki. Welcome in. Rose, thank you again. Jada has a comment. She said, I thought you would have loved going from being in a feature random character to being a repeat detective on Chicago PD. I just knew that was going to be your answer.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. And I love the residual checks. And I love anytime they call me back and ask me to be on. I'm appreciative of that, but it's not my favorite character. You know, I had an opportunity to create a whole character with Ramadan and be that person for, 90 minutes, as opposed to whenever I'm on Chicago PD, it's 2 minutes or less, my scenes, right? I'm in there. Usually there's a dead body and I'm talking about how the person died and what evidence we got. It's kind of the same thing every single time that I'm on there. Unless they bring me back and let me, put me in intelligence. Atwater ain't got to be the only black guy. Yeah, if y'all could write Chicago PD and tell them y'all want Mel Roberson on there full time, I'm here for it.
There you go.
Yeah,
I love it. So, in terms of that, like, how did you get that role?
Man, I auditioned the first time I was on Chicago PD. I wasn't even a homicide detective. I auditioned 9 times. Stop playing with me, Jada. I auditioned 9 times before I even got on Chicago PD. So yeah, and that's a nugget in here right now, right? Me and one of my friends, we always have the saying, my little brother too, we're just one day away. We're one day away from that breakthrough. And if you don't get it today, you're one day away. If you don't get it today, you're one day away. And so I think in any industry, in sales, in acting, in anything, people get discouraged by the no's and the rejection, or what they believe is rejection. It wasn't really rejection. It just meant that you weren't right for what is going on at that particular time.
Mhm.
And so I had 9 different auditions before they finally said, okay, this guy, we're going to put him in. And the first time I was on Chicago PD, I wasn't even a homicide detective. It was season 3. I was a guy that owned like not a chop shop, but like a rims and radio shop. And I put a stash box in this car where they found some drugs from this guy. So they come in, they question me about that. That was the first time I was on. And then in season 6, I got to play Detective Cullen. And from then on, I've been the same guy every time I'm on the show. But you know, I got a good agent. My agent I've known since high school. The only Black Screen Actors Guild agency in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Boutique agency, Hayes Talent Agency. And I got good management too. My management, Buchanan Management, who he's an attorney, and he's also our Sands. He's Spring 96 too. He's
really?
Yeah, from my Kappa chapter. He's a Kappa, and he's an Ace Club. So shout out to my Sands Jamal. And
All right, come on, Sands.
Yeah, he's the one that got me the auditions for Insecure. So I never got on, but I've had multiple auditions for Insecure. So, you know, he's doing this thing.
Tell him to call me. I need some more Babes of the Month.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Just don't put Ronell on here. just anybody but him.
Anybody but Ronell. Ronell's one of our other Sands. He's a Sigma, so we tease him all the time.
He always calling me fat. That's why I'm back in the gym now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he always calling me, and he was right. I mean, I can't lie.
Jada said, "Listen, can we get Atwater more lines first? I was fighting for that for like 4 years."
And Atwater's cool, man. He's a good guy. He's younger than us, but he's an Omega. He's a Q.
Oh, okay.
So he's a real good dude. I should have sent you some pictures that you could have been flashing.
Yeah.
So I got pictures with me and him on set. Good dude, really good dude.
Okay.
He's from Chicago too, and I like that about the show, that they're actually using Chicago talent as main characters. He's from Chicago. The rest of them aren't, but he's actually from Chicago.
So when they shoot their outdoor scenes, are they shooting in Chicago as well?
Yeah, we shoot everything here.
Oh, nice.
We shoot everything here. It's actually filmed in Chicago. Yep.
Okay. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you faced in your career about you?
Man, well, when you say my career, I've had so many different, or I do so many different things.
Yes.
That it's hard to know. So, I won't say misconceptions. I think I'll go backwards. So, from an acting standpoint, it's very, very easy to give up, right? It's very easy to say, you know what, this ain't for me. I'm tired of all the no's. I mean, I literally had, 6, 7, 8 months where I went without an audition. They were submitting me, but they weren't, the casting directors weren't saying, oh, we want to see him, right? So it's easy to give up, but if you have the tenacity and you stick to it, and if this is something you want to do, you just got to know that's part of it. But I think the same thing happens in whatever industry we're doing, whatever industry we're in, especially for entrepreneurs. I really speak about entrepreneurship, even though my business, I train companies that actually have employees. But as an entrepreneur, it's always easy to know that, there's going to be ups and downs. Well, I won't say easy to know. It's a given that there are going to be ups and downs in your business. And so when your business is riding the lows, it's really hard to stay focused, especially if you don't have a regular paycheck coming in. Sometimes it's feast or famine. I thank God I'm no longer at that place where I'm like that. But I remember in the beginning stages of my business, I would have a good month, but I was so busy paying back everything for the months when I had bad months. And people say, well, is it really worth it? I couldn't live like that. Well, I mean, it's one thing to say you couldn't live like that, but now I got a 6-figure residual income, whether I work or not. So I can go do all of the other things that I wanted to do because I took the time when it wasn't worth it, or when people would say it's not worth it, or how can you live like that? Or I can't struggle. One of the guys I listen to a lot is a guy named Simon Sinek. He wrote a book called Start With Why. But I saw a YouTube video or a YouTube interview with him the other day, and he was talking about there's no such thing as a stable job anymore. Even in the government sector, they're laying off, people left and right. So this thing that you thought that you were going to have that was going to take care of you no longer takes care of you. So the stress of knowing that anything could go away like that. As a business owner, there's nothing that's going to happen to me where I'm like, oh, in 24 hours, I'm out of business. I could see it coming and I can prepare.
Right.
But I couldn't do that if I was on a job because, people get laid off all the time, whether it's their own fault or not their fault.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I want to drill down on that residual income that you have, because a lot of actors, as you know, are really struggling right now, not only between, what's happening in the world and this COVID, but also just, the lack of not really having any like activity in that space, the way that we are used to seeing it. Like there are movies that are now coming out and there are programs that are now coming out, but it is few and far between. So I know you mentioned some of the other things that you do. So what are the other ways that people who are maybe looking either to get into the industry or looking to diversify from what it is that they're currently doing to, some of these things that you've mentioned that can give you another income stream?
So I'm gonna have a conversation that might turn some people off, right?
Okay.
And when I say turn some people off, it's because, your mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open, right? Parachutes, they don't work really well when they're closed. But a lot of people...
Wait, say that again, Mel. People need to hear that. Say that again.
Your mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open.
There you go.
If it's not open, then you're not going to get what you need to save your life. Exactly. So I was introduced to the network marketing industry 20 years ago. Most people like, I'm not going to do an MLM or I'm not going to do a pyramid. And when people say that, I say, well, what's a pyramid? And it's when the person at the top gets all the money and the people at the bottom don't make as much as the person at the top. I was like, well, that's your job. Ultimately, that's your job, right? Because they're making all the money and you don't. I actually make more money than the person that recruited me into the network marketing industry. I make more money than her. She overrides me, but I make more money. I've made more than $1 million in the network marketing industry, right? So, but I selected a company that wasn't a Me Too company. So it's not something where everybody is selling the same thing or anything like that. It was very unique. I've been with a company called LegalShield now for 20 years. Used to be Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated. And for me, what made sense about it was the fact that I needed the attorneys. At least he didn't say your mind.
Listen.
Jada is a mess. Where did she come from? Do I know her? Who is this part of your crew?
Yeah, she's one of my mods for my channel, but she also has her own channel called Jada LaRue. Check it out. She's got
I'm gonna check it out.
She's got quite the interesting repertoire.
Jada, I'm after the show, me and you. Me and you.
You might like that. Whoa your horse, because he is taken. I don't want no smoke.
You don't want no smoke.
Okay.
But yeah, so with LegalShield, I think it was a couple of things that made sense to me. Number one, it's less expensive in America to get taken advantage of than it is to protect your rights.
Yes.
What do I mean by that? If I have a situation where I take some clothes to the cleaners and they ruin my clothes and they don't want to replace them, it would cost me more to hire an attorney than it would to replace the clothes.
Right.
Right. And so now, hey, is that Keisha or Kesha?
Keisha Comedy Set.
Hey, Keisha. So now I have access to attorneys for anything I want. I get my will prepared. In the pandemic, people really realize I need a will, a living will, healthcare power of attorney, contracts. I'll give you a prime example, and then I'm gonna get off my soapbox with this. Everybody has one of these, right? Cell phone, right?
Yes, sir.
So I had a situation. Now I work from home. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years now. Work from home. I had a situation where my cell phone, I stopped getting good coverage in my house. Like
Oh.
all of a sudden, I'm dropping calls. People can't hear me. So I called my provider. They're like, "Oh, we're replacing the towers in your area." I'm like, "Okay, fix it." They were like, 30 days. It's done. We'll give you a credit. Give me a credit. Cool. Another 30 days goes by. Still got bad service. Another 30 days goes by. 90 days now, I got bad service. I'm just like, I go switch. My previous cell phone provider said, "We're going to give you a $250 early termination fee because you violated your contract." I said, "I can't talk in my house. I didn't violate anything." They were like, "Well, if you don't pay it, it's going to end up on your credit." I don't want $250 messing up my credit, but I don't want to pay it. But because I'm a LegalShield member, I called my law firm. My law firm wrote a letter on my behalf. It didn't cost me anything above my monthly membership fee. And all of a sudden, their legal department called me back and said, "We've decided to waive your $250 early termination fee."
Oh, you decided on that,
You
huh?
decided. Now, let me ask you something. Would I pay a lawyer $400 an hour to get rid of a $250 situation?
Right. No.
But for $30 a month, anytime I need it, I could go on and on and on with stories, and I don't want to turn this into that. But there have been so many times that I've used it. And one last thing. Sandra Bland, who is a Sigma Gamma Rho, by the way. Sandra Bland, one of the things that we offer through LegalShield is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week emergency phone number, right? If you're being arrested, questioned, detained, have any type of law enforcement official activity, and you want to talk to an attorney, 24/7, you can call them, right? By the way, the link is at melroberson.com. You can take a look at all of this stuff.
Yes.
But her mom, who's also a Sigma Gamma Rho, came to one of my presentations some years ago, shortly after she died. And she hugged me afterwards and she said, "I wish my baby would have had this membership when she got pulled over. Maybe she would still be alive." Shannon, I cried like a baby.
Oh my
I did
God.
the ugly cry. And I'm just like, so to me, it's never been about the commission. It's always been about the mission, right?
Absolutely.
And so protecting people and giving them affordable access to me is all I ever really cared about. But it just so happened to grow into something where it's a residual income base. As long as the membership stays on the books, I get paid. And so now I got the time freedom to go out and act. I got the time freedom to put out books. I got the time freedom to travel to my daughter's track meets. Traveling around the country to watch college athletes run is expensive.
Hello.
So I have the time freedom and the financial freedom to do that. I have the time freedom and financial freedom to be on a set or go out and go to an audition at 11:30 in the middle of the day when normally people are at work. You know what I mean? I got the time freedom to be able to do that. So when people say, "Well, I could never live like that," that's fine if you want to put your fate in somebody else's hand. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with people that have jobs. I don't knock them. I just knew it was a good place to start. It just wasn't where I wanted to finish. My dad was a steel worker for 39 years, and his company filed bankruptcy, screwed his pension up, did all of these things after he devoted 39 years of his life.
Right.
And so you think, oh, we're set. Now, if you're doing some stuff on your own, if you got, Roth IRAs and investments and stuff like that, you might be okay. But with the way the market fluctuates, it's still even hard to predict what your income is going to be upon retirement. So there's that. Hey,
here's Brooklyn.
What's up, Brooklyn?
She's like at my leg, like, I want to be up here too. This is my P.D.
Right.
Likes to be up in my videos.
Right.
Say hi to Mel. All right. Thank you very much.
Interested.
Thank you very much. She just wants to come up and see what's going on, and then she's ready to beat it.
Right.
Keisha, welcome in. We have, hey, Beach. Beach is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha as well. Jada says, okay, it's like Primerica.
It's not. Primerica is annuities and life insurance and a whole bunch of other stuff. All we offer is a legal plan and an identity theft protection plan. That's it. That's all we do. We don't have to get an insurance license to do so like Primerica, so it's not like that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
She says, everyone ain't built for the life. If everyone was made to be entrepreneurs/owners, then there would be no businesses, because who would be the dedicated 20-80-hour workers?
I agree. I totally agree. Listen, I need somebody to work at the dry cleaners to do my clothes. You know, I need somebody to serve the table when I go in a restaurant and all of that other stuff, right? But for the people that are those people, or for the people that want something different, the definition of insanity is doing what you've always done and expecting things to change.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So for me, I never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur, but once I got fired, you know, from my job and it didn't feel good, I was like, I got to do something different.
Right.
You know, so everybody has their own journey. I agree with that. Everybody's not built for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So what's next on tap for you, Mel? What's coming up next?
So I'm writing a film right now, which is kicking my butt because I'm developing all of these characters in my head. So I got all of these voices and conversations and things going on in my head. So I'm writing a film right now. I'm writing a sequel to my solo project book. So the part 2 of the Amazing Life Lessons of Joshua Stokes.
Yes.
I'm writing part 2 of that. So this is I put that book out in 2012, October of 2012. So we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary on it.
Wow.
So I'm trying to get it done so I can release the 10-year anniversary edition, at least by the end of the year, by Christmas, if I can't get it out by my birthday.
Okay.
So there's that. I'm doing some sketch comedy stuff around Chicago, and man, you know, still working with LegalShield and helping people become entrepreneurs and protecting families more than anything else. I got more people that are members that just have the service than actually work with me, and I'm okay with that. As long as you protect yourself and your family. And man, you know, that's really about it. Just acting and building some businesses. I'm still speaking. I still have clients that I coach. I still have organizations that I do professional development seminars for. So doing some of that, and then trying to stay out of office in the fraternity. Now that I'm active, they're like, hey, Brother Roberson, we need this, we need that. You know, why don't you run for vice pole or pole mark? I don't want none of that. I don't want that. I'll be on the election committee, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get out of me. I'm not trying to sit in any seats and do any of that political work.
I hear you. It's funny because me and my line sister always have this running joke that she's like, okay, any minute now you're going to run for office. You're going to do something, because I'm always, you know, the one that's like active and doing stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Since I turned 25, I'm like, y'all can have that. Like, I'm not interested anymore. I've done what I needed to do, in my opinion, for my sorority in terms of that kind of level of service, like being a president of a chapter, being a vice president of a grad chapter. That was a lot of work, and I did it for 5 years. And before that, I had always been on e-board as an undergrad, as a grad chapter person. I've never not been on an e-board until now. And my last sister is on e-board. She's on the executive board. So I'm like, okay, so switch roles. You can do it. I'm good. I'm good with rocking the background and just supporting and helping to do things as needed. But yeah, that day-to-day grind. No, darling. Thank you very much. I'll pass. Points Blank Travel says, Mel, I actually had LegalShield when I first got my license to carry in Texas. I need to double check what happened to that. Great service.
Yeah, and I literally was responding to him in the chat. Hey, bro, if you go to melroberson.com, all of my socials and stuff are on there. So just hit me up on Instagram, man. Inbox me, and I'll make sure you're good. And my daughter goes to school in Texas, so I'm down there all the time, bro. Let's connect.
Awesome. Jada says, listen, I have believed in having money coming in from everywhere since I was a child. So I love bringing in money, even though I don't really care about money like that. How odd, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, money is just a tool. That's all money really is. It makes good people better and bad people worse. Right. So I've been with money and I've been without money. Right. And so when I have it, when things come up, friends need stuff, I want to support somebody. Sans, you already know, how much popcorn have we bought?
Listen.
You know what I mean? With this doggone popcorn fundraiser that everybody was doing, you know. So we done bought popcorn. We've supported people during tough times. People have, you know, lost houses, cars, jobs. It's like, all right, you know, support it. So, and so I think Prince said it better. He said, money can't buy you happiness, but it'll help pay for the search. Right? You know. And prime example, my youngest baby, man, when she was in high school, she was like, Dad, I really want to go to this track camp for the summer. And I was like, cool. She was like, can I have a lady call you to pay for it? I was like, yeah, just have her call me. So lady calls me. She's like, yeah, we're enrolling your daughter. You know, is that what type of card are you gonna put it on? I was like, you know, whatever card. And she was like, okay, so you're authorizing $1,000 for me to charge. And I was like, $1,000 to run? She can run outside for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This was like a 1-week camp. It wasn't even a like summer long program.
Oh my goodness.
But I didn't have to think about it, right? It wasn't a thing of, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna be a little late on this if I pay for that, right? So it's a good thing to, you know, she has track meets all year long, and she's like, Dad, I want you to be there. Or she'll call me and she's like, I'm homesick, but I can't leave because we got practice and all of that stuff. So I pop out to Texas to see her on a whim. You know what I mean? So it's not that I care about money, but the things that I can do with it, the people that I can support, you know, the lifestyle that it affords me. And I'm not even a flashy guy. My cars are like 2014s, you know what I mean? Like 2014 and 26. I don't buy new vehicles every year, you know, and they're not even luxury. I mean, they're fully loaded, but they're Toyotas, you know. So I don't spend a lot of money on stuff like that, but the experiences that I can afford, you know, the stuff that I can do for my parents now that they're up in age. I think that's the most important part.
Absolutely. Keisha said she loves popcorn, but it's not good for her Crohn's. Oh,
yeah. Man, my dad has diverticulitis or diverticulosis, one of those, and he's not supposed to eat it, but he's a big popcorn person. So one thing that we didn't talk about on here is my newest venture, and
chef. That's where I was going to next. So take it away.
So I have some friends that are celebrity chefs. I've always loved to cook. It's always been a thing. Like I've made some pretty delicious meals in my day, but I got some buddies that are like one of my boys. He was Shaq's personal chef for a while. He's cooked for the Obamas before. Like, he's a beast. One of my other homegirls, she was Beyonce's personal chef for a while. She's from Houston. I got another buddy that was Kyrie Irving and LeBron James personal chef for a while. So these are people that know their stuff. So, you know, I'd be making I'm making sweet potatoes, and Beyonce chef was like, yo, throw some cardamom in there. It'll change the flavor profile. I was like, I never thought of that. And I put it in, and it was delicious. I was like, oh. And so I was like, let me experiment. So now I got 140 different spices in my spice cabinet.
Oh,
all these different wild exotic things. But I've been cooking. I've been cooking.
And I see you actually are an amazing plater. I've seen some of your plates on Instagram, and I'm like,
yeah,
how do you do that? It looks so good.
Yeah. And I don't even have the tools. So my boy, he was like, man, I'm gonna get you a plating kit. He was like, how did you stack your mushrooms like that? I was like, I used the ice cream scoop. Like, I literally had an ice cream scoop of the nice sauteed mushrooms and scooped them, put them in the middle, put the asparagus around them, did a great glaze with a toothpick to kind of get the design on the side. So, but now people are like, yo, I'm having dinner for like 4 people or 6 people, 10 people. Can you do it? And I'm like, yeah, this luxury dinner thing, it pays good money.
It pays very good money.
It pays good money. So that's my latest venture. I'm always trying to learn something new. I went and got 2 MBAs during the pandemic.
Yes.
So I'm always willing to learn something new and reinvent myself.
Okay. And then you also have a venture with your sweetie. So let's first talk about her. Where did you guys meet?
Yeah, so this is super interesting. She's in the back now. She's in the kitchen today. I'm about to talk about you, babe.
Oh, come on. If she wants to come on. Yes.
this is Shannon. This is one of the sayings. You never met her before. This is her show.
Shannon. Hi, bro. Come on.
She's like, bring her on. She's like, no.
Yeah.
She's
That's
like,
okay.
no.
I have my boss babes. I'm gonna bring her up for boss.
Okay,
babes.
I'll connect y'all. Yeah, her hair's in a ponytail. She's in the kitchen cooking.
Oh, mine was in a ponytail until like 2 minutes before we got on.
So we've known each other and known of each other for over 25 years now. She went to high school with my younger brother.
Mhm.
And last year, the same guy whose sister put me in my first film, who's my little brother's best friends. They're like this. He's like a little brother to me. He called me. He said, we're going to do a book versus on Instagram.
Oh.
It's like versus, but it's book stuff, you know. Baby, you can call me if you want to. I ain't ashamed of you.
I was just asking. Every request don't mean it's a request.
Yeah. And
Yes!
so
I already told Mel you have to come on so we can do a boss babe segment because
Yes.
you told me with you bossing up in the chair with your legs crossed. I was like, yes, ma'am. She's giving it to me. Give me all the vibes.
Oh, yes.
She's giving me all the vibes.
So we do this book versus, and
oh wait, I don't even want to talk to you no more. Tell me how y'all met. You tell me.
Well, scoot over, dear. So
this is not what was supposed to happen. This is my interview.
That's not what happened.
That's
not what happened.
So you know I gotta switch it up though.
So we did the book versus.
Yeah.
And I'm honest, I caught a spark because you know the Chicago swag on a guy that also speaks this language, does this entrepreneur thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like though I knew of him from his brother that we went to high school a long time ago, I didn't know Mel. Okay. So us meeting in that space was definitely like, who's that guy? So then what happens?
But you know me.
Yeah.
I was strictly business. I was like, we could write some books and do some seminars together and make some money. And if I got to pick between money and booty, I'm gonna pick money. So
until you can get both.
Right. So she was friend zoned. I wasn't even playing. She was friend zoned. And at the time, I mean, to be perfectly honest, in the beginning of it, she had somebody. So we weren't even on that vibe like that. But later I found out she had broke up with somebody and I was dating somebody at the time. But then when that didn't work out, it was like, okay, I'm kind of still available. You're kind of still available. Let's see what this looks like. And we've been seeing what it looks like ever since.
And he look good, girl. He look
good, girl.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna go back to the kitchen and cook the man a meal. Y'all carry on.
Because she only cooks for me like 3 times a year, just so we're clear.
So, but this is what I told him. I told him, I don't cook. He said, oh, when I did cook, he said, oh, I thought you said you can't cook. I said, I never said that. I said, I don't cook. But he's a great chef.
Bye, baby. So see you later. Bye. Okay,
I love it. Oh my goodness, that was fun. Okay, so Points Blank Travel said Mel will connect. I haven't really tripped off LegalShield because I stopped carrying concealed when they started smoking all the brothers who were legally carrying.
Yeah. And it does so much more than that, bro. We'll connect. I mean, just because you're a good person, we'll connect, not because of LegalShield. So just because you're a good person, we'll definitely make sure we connect.
Jada said, hey, beautiful, to your lovely woman, boss babes. Did we say her name is? Go ahead and tell her. Monique.
Yeah. Mel and Mo.
I love it.
Yep.
Jada said, right, just sit on his lap and let's hear from the boss babe of the day. Ow! I know that's right. TT101 said, laugh out loud, Bella, love that. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm gonna start jumping in all her interviews.
A great man on the show, but even greater to see the woman that's beside him, not behind him, not in front of him, but right there at his side. So yeah, if I can bring Mo and Mel together on screen, it's the best of both worlds.
Oh, I'm invading her interview.
I know you are.
What?
I know you are. Jada said facts. She said she doesn't cook. Yes, you have to listen carefully because she said she doesn't cook doesn't mean she can't cook. Just means
she said, well, babe, I just don't cook like you. This ain't a competition. We in this together. I'm hungry.
Right. Are you hungry?
Shoot.
Beautiful couple, boss couple. I love it. Oh, that's cool, boss couple. I might have to take that. Jada. Bella's boss couples. That might work. Okay, so wait, you and your lover are going to be doing something together too. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, so the classes that we have for the first quarter we've already done. We're huge on manifestation, right? We're huge on you can pull into existence anything that you want for your life. Like I talked about the acting, but I didn't talk about like me getting on Chicago PD. I talked about the auditions, but I actually had Chicago PD on my vision board long before I was even cast. I had being a best-selling author on my board long before it even happened. You know, I had my credit score on there. I just had all of these different things on there long before they happened. So there are some practices that you can be involved in that will help change your mindset. And thought is the springboard of all reality. There are some things that you can do to help pull into your reality the things that you want from life. So when people say what's not possible and all that other stuff, I mean, you got to think about it like this. You know, Shannon, when you came to Chicago, that wouldn't have been possible if the Wright brothers would have given up long ago. You know,
right?
And this is a story I tell often. The Wright brothers, their father was a pastor, and before they took flight, he did a sermon called "If God wanted you to fly, He would have given you wings." This is their father, right?
Right.
But they did not buy into his opinion. They didn't buy into his mindset. They went on to create First to Flight. Now, there's a Samuel Purepoint Langley is a guy who rivaled the Wright brothers. He was actually funded by the government and other big people to do this whole flying thing, but the Wright brothers got it better than him with less money, less ingenuity. Well, not less ingenuity, but less technology, because they had it here and here. Right? For him, it was just a project. For Samuel Purepoint Langley, for the Wright brothers, it was a mission. It was a purpose, right? So they were able to pull into reality some things that they believed even before, you know, they knew it could be a reality. Right. So we teach a lot of that stuff. We teach manifestation and how to pull stuff into existence. I'm huge on goal setting. I'm huge on leadership. I teach a lot of leadership courses. A lot of my clients are in C-suite positions, and I teach leadership stuff as well. So it's a lot of stuff that we'll be teaching. That stuff will be on my website too. So if you go to melroberson.com, you can connect on our socials and all of that stuff. We have a you can manifest anything is our Instagram together. You can manifest anything. So we're starting to put some content there as well. But yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming up. And we're going to be doing retreats for individuals and couples retreats. We'll be doing couples retreats very soon.
Okay, I definitely have to check that out. Yep. All right, so before we wrap up, gotta ask you. Now I know you're not home, you're at your lady's house, but what do you use in your face? What's in your bag?
Oh, I'm a Fenty guy. I ain't even gonna front. First of all, let me make this abundantly clear.
Yes.
If I wasn't with Monique,
yes,
ASAP wouldn't have stood a chance because me and Rihanna would have been together. Okay. so he got lucky that me and her together, because me and Rihanna would have taken on the world together. But I'm a Fenty guy. The face wash, what's fat water
toner, yeah,
and then the moisturizer. That is my daily regimen.
Awesome.
I love Fenty stuff. And people be like, man, you a dude. You wear that. A face is a face.
A face is a face, and you cannot use the same products on your body as your face. I keep trying to tell everyone this who watches me. You need to understand that body wash is not the same as face wash. They're two different formulas. They do two completely different things.
Yep.
You have not yet thumbs up this video. What are you waiting for? Let's thumbs this up. Hit that thumbs up button. Hey, sweet like me. Hey, Wendy. Welcome in.
I need to introduce you to one more person too, Shannon.
Yes.
My homegirl, Tahara J. Smith. She has a lipstick line, but also I use her chapstick or lip moisturizer or whatever you call it. But her line is called Power by Tahara J.
Oh, I love it.
Power by Tahara J. And she has lipstick, lip gloss, but I use her lip scrub and moisturizer. You know, it's like a Burt's Beeswax, but Black owned.
Listen, I love me some Burt's Bees.
Yep. Well, if you love Burt's, you really gonna love this. You really gonna love this.
I keep two in here at all times.
So yeah, my Power by Tahara J. So you know. Guys, women don't want no man with ashy lips.
Listen, facts. We sure don't. Ray of Sunshine says, from his rib, not his behind. So yeah, PBT, walk beside. I had an old boyfriend that got irritated if he thought I was walking behind him. I was like, nah, you just walking fast.
Well, she got short legs, so I got to slow down. I'm 6'1", she's 5'2", so.
And she's 5'2". Why do all the short girls get all the very tall guys? Like, where's the mid height for the the range is like off.
I don't know. I mean, Rihanna is taller than 5'2", so if we was together, it would work.
Yeah,
but
Rihanna, I think it's around my height. I think she's either 5'5" or 5'6". I'm 5'6".
See.
So she's around that. Yeah.
But I'm happy for her and her new expecting child. And see, my kid's grown. That's another reason why me and Rihanna wouldn't work, because I'm done.
Yeah, she would have wanted some more babies. Yeah. All right. And I gotta talk about Alana and her engagement. I gotta do it. You're about to be the father of the bride, dude.
Oh yeah.
Father of the bride, dude.
Yeah,
the ring is gorgeous. The ring is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love the diamond in the middle. I was like, she had me at pink diamond. I was gorgeous.
He did good, man. He's
very
good.
Well.
They've been together for some years, and you know, he's a really good dude. He's really good. See, you trying to make me cry before I get off the show.
Listen, my January baby of the month did it. So come on with it.
Yeah.
Come on with it, Dad.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited for her. She's had an amazing career for herself, but to have the love of her life. And he proposed on her birthday. Her birthday was a few days ago.
Yes.
He proposed on her birthday in a hot air balloon. And it's just a beautiful thing. You know, my family has been really blessed to have really good people come into our lives, and he's definitely one of them. And to see how he is with her and how he treats her, you know, a father only wants for somebody to love his daughter as much as he does, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stop because my eyes are starting to water.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Have they set a date yet?
They have not set a date yet.
Okay.
They have not set a date yet, but sometime next year, and whenever it is, secret location.
Jada, she already put Power by Tahara J.
Tahara J. Yeah.
Okay. She already put the link in here. Thank you, Jada.
Yep.
My TT Wendy said exactly. No dry, ashy lips. I know that's right.
These things are registered as deadly weapons in 48 states. I got to take care of them.
You talk so much trash. Yes, Jada is on it. Yes. Thank her for that link. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Tahira does a great job. Her products are amazing. Matter of fact, she was just featured on a local news channel here for the stuff she's doing, and I did her product shoot for her. So,
nice.
she needed some photos. We set up a little station in my living room, and got some little stuff here and there, and did a whole product shoot. So she had some footage and came out really good. And I mean, she's crushing it, man. I'm so proud of her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and for sharing your life's journey, your sweetheart, what you guys are doing together, what you're doing on your own. I think you're amazing, even though you are my sans, and I'm partial because you are my sans. I do think, when in terms of like guys who are really out here doing it, you are truly a babe of the month.
I appreciate it. Thank you. When you
Bossing up.
when you asked me, I was like, oh God, like you talk about lipstick. What am I gonna talk about?
Look, we were here for almost an hour and 15 minutes, and you killed it.
Thank you.
You
I appreciate it.
High five, everyone. From Jada. Points Blank Travel says, great interview and live stream. Brown Girl Bella and Mel Rob, y'all killed it. Thank you so much. Beach says this was nice. I agree. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Have Monique on so she can give me all the tidbits and the things that we didn't get.
Oh God. Oh God.
She gonna give me the real tea for sure.
She will. And I mean, I will too. I don't have anything to hide, but everybody, melroberson.com has all my socials, all the ways to get in contact with me. Please hit me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Join my mailing list, my VIP mailing list, so you can get stuff that I got coming up and be in tune with just what I got going on. I love to connect with people. I love to network. I love to hear compelling stories and help people have those light bulb moments. I think life is really about the light bulb going off, and once it does, and you realize what your true human potential is, you are virtually unstoppable. So, Shannon, thank you so much for having me, sis. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hey, Brooklyn, I love you too. And man, we'll have to do this again at some point.
Absolutely. And for all those watching, you know what I'm gonna say. You have now been Bellafied.